Right. First episode.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Stanley misses a meeting. Probably got everyone.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
How about on the right?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
Yes.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
I just want to do everything that I can or Monsieur Cargo. Okay.
Oh well, look who's got cold feet. Sorry to break it to you, Stanley, but that lift isn't coming back. You'd best either get comfortable right here on this platform, or test your luck by jumping to the floor below. You know what? Looking at it now, it's not that far to the bottom floor. I bet you can make it.
Nope. I don't think I can. I ain't gonna do that, brother.
Come on. I'm sure you'll survive the jump. Don't tell me you're scared. That's not the Stanley I know. Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it! Do it!
No. I better go for that truck.
Whoops. Looks like I was wrong. How clumsy of me.
Okay. I hate you. I will not follow your directions.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Stanley
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yes, I probably did.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
right.
this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room.
Coffee.
Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Yeah, no.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side.
No.
Give me a chance.
I
Now
would
listen
never give you a
carefully, this
chance.
is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Walk through the food door.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Nope.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's
All
out
right.
there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
So
You see?
beautiful.
There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted?
Yes.
Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did
Doing
you
something
want to
stupid.
see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback.
Okay.
There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before.
Okay.
Go ahead,
Go for
Stanley.
the
Take it
third
for a
option.
spin. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
Number one.
A one? I mean, I can understand if you had reservations, you saw ways the game could be improved to more fully express itself mechanically and artistically, but a one? That's
Yes.
not even helpful. What am I supposed to do with that? But I
I mean,
guess it
do you
isn't
want me
my
to go for
place to
two?
judge.
Let me go for
Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Okay. Whoa. It's worldwide leaderboard, huh? Yep. Go through this door again.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Oh, okay.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice.
Oh,
But of
no.
course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So
4
why don't you
hours?
give it
You
4
want me to
hours
do it
of
for
play
4
to make
hours?
sure it's effective? Be
All
sure
right.
to keep notes on your experience.
Okay. Yeah, I'm bird. He's purely
You
racist.
heartless bastard.
Yes.
Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm
Let
not
me
even
have
going to try.
hands.
I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Alright, what you got so far? This is your second attempt. That's your third attempt to make me up.
Well,
Minecraft?
Is this any better? At last, the one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough?
Minecraft!
Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough?
Here's a
Well, I'll say
question for
this.
you.
I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house.
Okay.
This
is
will
weird.
go
Like, are you
here.
built- oh.
No, here. And then...
Are you making an underground house?
Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes, it's complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze
That
upon
is
my work
not-
of art and feel
This is
ashamed
not a
at your
house.
own
This
inadequacy.
is not a house.
But
It's
you've
a
only seen it
small
from the
house.
outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable.
This is like a one block house.
Isn't
okay?
it grand? Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything. Yes, yes, yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
Okay. Let's go. I can't jump, but yeah.
Oh, my. It looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
No. But have you bought
no,
it short?
no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
Okay, what you got so far? You put me in Minecraft. I don't have a torch. You didn't give me a sword. You didn't give me a pickaxe. Plus your house is shit. Oh. Now what? Portal 2?
Yes! I don't even know what this game is, but I love it. You, trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay,
You
now
put me in
I'm
Portal
curious.
2.
Let's go find out what the hell this is.
Portal 2, obviously. Portal 1 or 2, I don't know, but it feels like Portal 2.
Ooh, it's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte.
Okay, it's not really critical if you had to do one thing simple. Oh, I messed that up. Put that here. Okay. I guess we're playing a bunch of games with this
No, actually,
guy.
you know what? I think that's plenty.
What?
I really don't care much to see you stumble through any more of these games.
What?
And I highly doubt you're any...
Oh. That works. Filing cabinet, okay. I mean... somehow it's right fell here, but okay. Now I'm in a vacuum space. Oh wait, I'm back. Okay, where's my narrator? Narrator, where'd the... Wait a second. I'm going back to the start. Amazing! Dun 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 dun. Oh, I guess I found something. I don't know what am I supposed to do here, but okay.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice. And if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand
yes.
soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Are you sure? You sure about that? Question is, okay, I guess we're back to the start. Yeah, we're back to the start. Can I stay in this room? No. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, I guess this is...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Can I go on the right again?
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps
Doing
he
the
wanted to
opposite
stop
of
by the
everything it
employee lounge
says.
first, just to admire it.
I just want to do the opposite of everything.
The
it
lounge
says.
was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
I'm going straight.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
This time I'm gonna go up here.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot.
Yeah, we sure have.
I'm
It's
not
the
your
first
enemy,
time.
really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
Are you sure about that?
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
The only question is, who is her?
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Oh, I can open the door. Can I go back in here? No? Okay. I don't know what I'm doing. I just want to open doors. Have the power up to open the door. Put the narrator. Okay. Oh.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Okay. Yeah, there's just no choice, I guess.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha.
Fuck
Oh,
you.
come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife?
Wow.
They'd want to commit their life to
Oh,
you.
nice titties.
I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Yeah, those are excellent titties.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Press 1 on the keyboard. How about I dope? Okay.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
Please press P. Begin the game again. Awesome. Okay, but I'm gonna
Look at
do
him there,
this.
pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch.
Now I'm going home.
He's going home.
Now I'm going back to
Now
work.
He's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
I've chosen a life of work.
But in his mind, in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures.
Yeah.
From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of what...
Beat the game. So close. No, seriously. We disabled it. Oh.
Wild expeditions into the unknown. Fantastic discoveries of new lands.
It was wonderful.
And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
But why is there just 3%?
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
I mean, that's nice. Okay.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Push J to be dinner.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Oof.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and
then
again, over
Then-
and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
6. I was 7. 5, 4, 3. No, okay.
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button,
This is the part
do
where I
not
do it.
do it.
This is the part where I actually do it.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself?
Yes.
How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Don't.
I
3.
suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time.
I'll never
And I
see.
tried again.
Please
And
don't.
Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
And Stanley pushed the button. He died. Game over. Oh. Well, we're back at the start. I cannot die.
The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
On the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
spending all my time
Perhaps he
just
wanted to
doing
stop by the
everything
employee lounge
opposite.
first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time understood, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Oh, okay, let's go on the
And
right.
so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Going down.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go,
How about right?
From here, it's, left.
No, right. Right. No, it's right. Okay, fine. What?
Oh, no. No, it's to the right. My mistake.
Oh, are you sure about that?
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking?
Are you doing
It's
your
clearly-
misdirection humor?
Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please? Now, let's
This would be- that's what we-
down, right, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
You sure about that? Okay. Downstairs.
No, 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 no. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to
Spoiler.
Who am I kidding?
Fired.
It's all rubbish now. The whole
Fired.
story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so
Fired,
far
right.
off track.
80s.
Okay, from the top.
104 is fired. 104 is fired. Okay. You guys ready?
All of his
I have a question. Oh, wait. Okay, so that's not even
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. I can't open that for it.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be...
Oh,
did
yeah.
something change? Stanley,
No.
did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Okay, I can't jump. We'll just go this way. Find this story. I'm going in here. I wonder what's in here. I'm being completely pointless. Okay, let's go in here again. We're playing Scooby-Doo, I guess. Yeah, I gotta go in here. In here.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here
Yeah, we'll
before.
go here.
Do we just...
No,
do we need to
please,
restart
I want
the
to
game
have
again?
fun.
Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why
Please
not?
no. Damn it. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I hate you. I wanted
Stanley
to do this
decided to go
again.
to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
All you gotta do is just create more doors.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Okay. Guess we're playing the mystery game. Done. This is the best game, actually. Look. There's the doors. There's that one.
Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
I think you definitely
Now this...
but something up.
Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I
No.
don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley?
Well, yes,
Well, do you
me.
know
I
what?
can't talk.
Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations!
I just
know
won.
You put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Oh. This is the restart.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line.
Yay.
Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Our dope on the line. Unless we're...
No, I'm done. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
Are you sure? Why everybody just want to stay here? Look at that blank state in the wall. Who spilled the coffee? Ooh, what just text? Oh, I turned off the computer. Ooh. My bad. Okay. Guess. Alright.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me.
Okay.
Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right?
Kinda.
Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective
going
experience
impossible
of this
now?
office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Why we haven't done?
Cut the music, go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make
How
sure you
important?
study it closely and remember it carefully.
Okay.
You won't want to miss anything.
What? I was disappointed, but okay. Get the music back. I was ruined.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Even though I just forgot where we're gonna go. Guess we're going back in here. Oh. Well, we're back at the start. Welcome back to the start. We're back at the spoiler.
No, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted
Well,
you,
no, boys,
after
so far.
everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Bit restart. Okay, Ryan. Let's see you can do this right.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting,
Yes.
daring, mysterious.
Yes.
Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Ooh, this door. Wait, this is a door. Why does it lead to this? Okay.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well,
New
it could be
story.
anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it.
Just maybe the first week. Okay.
Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
I want you to acknowledge the line. The line's my best friend. Okay.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay. So I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic.
You didn't even
Come,
consider the
Stanley.
left door.
Our destiny awaits.
You didn't even consider the left door. Confusion. Wait, is this the same door? It's the same door. I'm completely confused for 1628.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me
Dude ate from the
that's what
maintenance
this
room.
is?
I left in the
It's
monitor
all one
room.
giant
Then we start
ending?
game. First start.
and we're supposed to restart the game eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing. Wall. Well,
Wondering.
who consulted me?
Basically me.
Why don't I get to decide?
Yep, it's not dead
Why
end.
don't
Turn
I
around.
get a
Find
say
another
in all
dead
of
end.
this?
End up in
Is it
another
really-
building. Wait, which
No,
starts
it
game?
can't
I'm
be.
Benjamin.
I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on.
Why wait the
I don't want to be
music?
trapped like this.
Why
I
wait
won't
the music?
restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I
Find the line
won't
again.
do it. And the timer stopped?
Oh,
Does
dear.
that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen?
Okay, so we start. There's no longer an office. Somebody in
So-
black space wandering button.
Okay.
Finding bookstore. Get bored and leave. New we start game. Ain't we start?
I guess
Neighbor
now
is
we just
gone.
wait.
After one
You
time,
know,
Stanley dies.
I suppose in
Yes.
some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now.
Before we start.
We'll find out.
Never
won't we?
forgets about previous
Eventually.
restarts.
Well, in the meantime, if
The game restarts. It's like a few neighbor.
all of his co-workers were gone,
Oh,
what
yep,
could
it
it mean?
completely forgotten.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
This is how you achieve the
When
confusion.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Okay.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his
I
left.
just want to mess with the narrator.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Back on track, you say? I have a good sense of judgment in this game. I just want to fuck around.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a
Just
wave
for not
of
getting by
disbelief,
truck was
Stanley
dude,
decided to go
unbelievably
up to
amazing
his
work on
boss's
time every
office,
day with
hoping
no
he might find an
expectation.
answer there.
I hate you. What about up inside you? Take it out, pass him, get some articles. We then call looking for not supporting you anymore. Things. Money, more money, things. Put money to buy more things. Grabs about. We have underbought it. I think that's practically everyone. I want to go in the broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Okay, I want to go back in here. I like the broom. Okay.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow. Just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Yeah, I just want to be here. Okay. Alright, I guess we're just gonna go for it. Nope, I'm gonna go back in. I want the broom closet.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Yes. Yes. Dun, 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 dun.
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why?
Because it's fun.
Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Because it's fun. It's fun to stand in the broom closets. Alright. This is
You
fun
do
to be in a
realize
broom
there's no
closet.
choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
It's just fun. It's fun. Okay, it's fun to be in here, alright? I mean,
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite."
yes.
I hope your friends find this concerning.
Oh, they will. They will find this concerning because I'm lying for you.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is.
This is how I get
that or
worse
with
of
drug
esteem.
money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Yes.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead.
Yes.
You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead.
Yes.
He or she has fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species.
Yes.
Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place at the computer,
Yes.
making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that
I'm
the
the
irony
expert.
and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them.
Well,
All right. When you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Nope, I'm staying here. I want to stay here. I just want to look at this beautiful broom and this mop broom. Okay. Yeah. Is there an achievement for this? 8. Click on buy time. So okay. Obey Tuesday. Complete under 4 minutes, not including long time. Don't. For 5 years? Unachievable. It is impossible to get the achievement. Okay. So there's not very many then. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Okay. Nope, I'm staying here. Dun 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 dun. Okay, I'm gonna go here.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on.
Okay.
You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Nope. Nope. I'm just gonna stay here. I won't stay here. Watch YouTube. For a total of 5 years. Well, I guess no. I can just watch. Okay. I guess I'm ready to pick up the story, I guess. Oh well.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I'm going downstairs. I'm not gonna go up. Ooh, what is this? Is this the light? Oh, it is.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when
I
he
did not
looked
know
down?
that. Whoa.
Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating?
Yes.
No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still
already
lucid.
enjoying this. Just
So,
going through.
he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Whoa.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical star field, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up.
Yay.
How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
Trap himself.
Now, hearing
Stanley.
the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself.
Yes.
I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal.
But Stanley, you're not
Everything
normal.
will be fine. I am okay.
And I'm still here.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Boom.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Now we're going for Mariella.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Oh, she didn't run. She just stood there. She's already late for a meeting.
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought, oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause.
I am
Perhaps
repeatedly
50 clicks will
clicking
do.
this.
Yes, almost
damn
certainly
door.
50 clicks.
Wait, does it change itself? Okay.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
417, huh? Okay, no. I'm gonna keep clicking this. I tell you, where's 417 anyway? 37, 20.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
437. Oh, wait, that says 17. Okay, no. Close now, yeah. 437.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
415. I got a little bit lost. 417.
Now, back to door number 437. Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine?
The copy machine? Okay, that's a backup plan. Wait, what? Oh, wait, import. Okay. Look, that's it. I'll way up on it.
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
Just clicking on that door.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
You do know I can't climb, right? 119's right here.
Yes! This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
No, wait, 416 this way. Dun, 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 dun.
We've almost got it. Now the copy machine do that one again.
Yo, it's always David Chandler.
Finish it off, Stanley. 5 clicks on door. Yes! We did it! Oh, wow.
Yay!
That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago, you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really, when Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
Okay,
he
let's
entered
go
the
here.
door on his left.
There we go. We got apologizing this time.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, this is the boss's office.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad,
Yeah, I
Stanley
didn't
happened
press
to
random
input
buttons.
the
I did
correct
not. You
code
gave
by
me the
sheer
damn
luck.
code.
Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
I pressed the key. I am having so much fun.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Dun, dun, dun.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Okay, no.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death. The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Nope.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Yes. Give me death. Or maybe it's not there. I imagine there's a bunch of spikes down there. Oh, hi.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Hi. Oh.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Alright. These two doors. Yeah, wait, outtakes, huh? 3 separate times. Wow. They were not taken into consideration. Come on, I want to hear them. I want to hear them. Okay, I guess not. Oh well. Well, I guess we are actually at the credits at least. Freedom ending. And the game's alpha, huh? To place 2 endings together. Well, this is first and the second is done.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time choose.
Nope. I want to die. Or be freezed. Okay. Yeah. Alright, yeah. I'm not mentally insane, but well, I guess we are actually. We can't do anything. Well, we should go pause. I will just begin the game again. Follow the instructions.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Everybody knows I can run.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yep. Back up here. Go in here, and it's...
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy. so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Can you open the damn passway, please? I'm speedrunning this a little bit. This time.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
But we're gonna go down. Oh, come on. Come on, Stanley. Let's beat the store in speedrun this time. We are not going to do anything. We are just going to speed it. Come on, we're going to run. We're not going to
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Alright, what's about to happen? No.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content, walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
Yes.
After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Yes.
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say...
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever up.
Happily ever what? After? Oh well. This was worth it. We got the nuclear ending. Oh.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Papers.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Okay, I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
Oops. 2. 7 plus 4. Yeah, a couple. 2, 4, 8. Oh, there we go. Oh.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Yep, I reached this part.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Yeah, you know this.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom
The
meant
entire
nothing.
series in one episode.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once.
What if that's the armband?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty.
Where am I?
Was it over?
Just not want it. Okay, now it's 77 minutes.
Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine! Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him.
This
was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
But there you go, yeah, beat the game. You beat the game. And do we actually speed on it? That's the question.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Up in this part, I want to show you one more ending.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful.
Okay.
Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
No.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Okay.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Okay, let's just go in here.
What do we want? What are we looking for?
Space.
Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay... No, wait. Where are you going? Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me.
See ya.
No! Oh, thank God you lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room? No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this? Whee! Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for... My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to get rid of it?
I just want to
You were
mess with
literally
you.
willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly? Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours. Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of two open... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. And here it was, the lounge. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really.
I'm gonna go
I'm
through the
not.
red door and make a
I
buy.
realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you
We're gonna go
something
through the blue door.
beautiful.
We're gonna
Look,
keep going through
let me
the blue
prove
door.
it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
I'm not gonna listen to you.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Nope.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you?
Yes.
Do you not think I put a lot of time into that?
No,
Because
you
I
did.
did.
You didn't
And
put.
in the end,
you
it
didn't
was
put much
for
time into
nothing.
it. All you have
Because
is
this is what you wanted to
incomplete
see.
textures.
Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want
By
to
having
see?
my hands,
Vehicles?
I want to see my
Skill
feet.
trees? Work with me. You give
Do
me
I have a fan?
absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback.
Okay.
There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version.
Can I
Would
get
you
a-
say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Okay.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up.
Okay. Is it the baby game?
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger.
Yep.
You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the
Okay.
desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of
I'm not gonna do
life.
anything.
I think the art world will really take notice.
I am not gonna do anything
But of
this
course,
time.
the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
I'm gonna be heart
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable.
What's the
Oh,
point?
hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see.
Minecraft.
What do we have here?
You have Minecraft, don't you?
Yes. This seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Yeah, he's gonna put up Minecraft, isn't he? Yep, I'm right. He has a
Well, Stanley, is this
shitty
any
house.
better? At last, the one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough?
We'll be done. Because we always seen this part.